Are we live yet? Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Got a little dance pop going on for Christmas. We'll work out some of that food we ate. If you're watching from the United States, you know what to do. If you're watching from the US, it's 1. If you're watching from Vietnam, it's 2. And good morning, Vietnam. Good morning. And then, 3 is Canada. Let's see where everyone else is from. Okay. Quý vị nghe có rõ không? I did some more moving around. Rõ không? Loud and clear? Or just loud? Or not loud enough? Oh my gosh, I see a lot of ones. Nè, usual suspects. Lynn and Phát, of course. Chị Minh Châu. Hello. Okay. Yeah. Loud and clear, says Phát. Phát says loud and clear. Now Việt Nam nè. Oh, hello. Rồi, sao nữa? Canada. And Alicia. Very nice, everybody. Wow. I am so happy to be here with you tonight. It's Christmas. Woohoo! Virginia. Vua Hồng nè, Vua Hồng of Virginia. Oh, by the way. Hold on. I'll turn the music down for this one. Come on, music down. Okay? So, speaking of Virginia. Okay, speaking of Virginia. I'm coming to Virginia. In less than 3 weeks. Quý vị thấy không? Do you see how fast time flies? Like it was just a thought, and then bây giờ là 2.5 weeks or something like that. Quý vị thấy không? Bởi vậy, mình cần làm gì đó? You make a decision, you do it because time flies. So I am going to be in Virginia on June 14th. That's a Sunday in McLean. Is it called McLean? McLean, Virginia. Nên if you already registered. Vua Hồng này already registered. Quá giỏi luôn. I'm looking forward to meeting you. By the way, when you introduce yourself, you have to say, hi, I'm Vua Hồng, so I know who you are, okay? Okay. And then who is this here? Mình rất vui được trò chuyện cùng chị. Okay. Very nice. January 14th. Yes, chị Minh Châu. Leyna có đăng một hình trên YouTube và có đăng trên Facebook luôn. Yeah, so I would love to see everyone and meet everyone. So, mới đó mà bây giờ the year is almost over. So this is what I think. And thường thường mình đợi đến New Year's Eve mình mới là bắt đầu là mình nói về năm tới ha. Talk about the new year, talking about New Year's resolutions. Hold on, let me bring this up here. New Year's resolutions. But guess what? I don't wait anymore. I don't wait for anything. You know what? I don't wait to celebrate. I just don't wait for anything anymore. And I wonder if it's because bây giờ mình càng ngày mình càng lớn tuổi. Mình càng ngày càng già. Nên cái suy nghĩ, just the way you think is different. And the more I hear about things happening around me, the more I am convinced tomorrow is not promised. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Then, if like we can celebrate, we celebrate. We don't put it off. If you've got important things to do, you just do it. You don't wait, because what if tomorrow doesn't come? What if tomorrow doesn't come? Okay. So I'm going to be in Virginia. I'm so excited. Virginia. When was the last time I was in Virginia? I don't even remember. I do not remember. Oh, look at this. This woman is Hannah is in Falls Church. Như vậy là just 10 minutes away from McLean. Very good. Okay, very nice. So nhớ nha, nhưng mà you have to register to come. So you got to register so that we know who you are, so that I can give you the address. Anyway, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Okay. Here's another thing. I don't normally say this. I know people who have YouTube channels always say, press like and subscribe and whatever. Okay, thường Leyna không nói như vậy. Nên I get so many comments from people who watch and then ask me, when will they know if I go live? Well, if you subscribe and put the notification button, it'll let you know. Nên nếu mà quý vị ai mà chưa có subscribe, bây giờ subscribe, I don't know. I don't know. Tiếng Việt kêu sao? I don't know. Anyway, if you subscribe thì mỗi lần Leyna livestream thì quý vị sẽ được cái notification. Okay? So like it and then subscribe. That's the easiest thing to do. Okay. Rồi. Hello. Ủa, Danny. I love it. Each time I say the name, tự nhiên thấy cái tên Danny thấy thương liền nữa nha. Hi there, Danny Nguyen. Danny Nguyen. Sometimes people call my husband Danny Nguyen just to make fun of him. They say, oh, you must be Mr. Nguyen. Danny, nice to see you again. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. It has been wonderful. I've been so busy that today, actually, I mean, this really isn't work. Nhưng mà today is the only day that I took off. Hôm qua cũng là gặp với khách hàng. And then tomorrow, and oh my goodness, the day after that, and this whole week, busy. Nên hôm nay là really là take off, là không làm gì hết trơn á. Thực sự all day, you know what I've been doing all day? I get up in the morning, I put on my bathrobe. You know what a bathrobe is, right? And I have been sitting around in my bathrobe all day, making slides for this live stream, actually. So I've been working a little bit. Hello, Lorenzo. Good to see you. Rồi. Are you ready? First of all, I want to know, did you get a gift that you really like? Có ai được cái quà gì mà mình thích ơi là thích không? Có không? If you tell me in comments what you got for Christmas that you really liked. And better yet, tell me, what did you eat for Christmas? Holidays are for eating. What did you eat? Some people have traditions. Okay. Thường Leyna là một là Christmas hoặc là New Year, I make my famous prime rib. So we're actually going to wait till New Year's Eve to do that this year. So much food. Oh, this lovely lady. A gift of family and love. You're so sweet. Yes. Because I know a lot of people who this Christmas are spending Christmas without their loved ones. It's tough. It's really tough. God, like, I could sit there and just watch my kids doing whatever they're doing. Like, I love doing that. Mình mà có cơ hội ha, mình cứ ngồi mình thấy con cái nó nói qua nói về, and then it's amazing that you still have that. So treasure the time that you have with your families, y'all. Jim here was out for a walk. A new barbecue. Joe, when am I coming over, Joe? What you making? What you making, Joe? Oh boy, Tom's like, gosh darn it, Leyna, just get to the topic already. Stop talking to us. Okay, Tom. Wow. Guess who's getting coal next year? Okay, here you go, Tom. Tom, this is for you. The topic. You might have seen a lot of stuff, okay? When people talk about tax-free income, tax-free retirement, okay? It sounds too good to be true. Is it a scam? Is it a scam? Well, let's go through it. People call it different things because they want to catch your attention. People call it tax-free income. People call it the tax-free wealth plan, or the 7702 plan, or they call it a million things. And you know what it really is? It's using life insurance, okay? You get all the benefits of it, to make tax-free income. That's what it is. So is it legit? It sure is. Can it go wrong? It sure can. So let's understand it and let's do the right thing. Đừng nói là có echo. Does anyone else have an echo, or is it just inside Jung's head? Anyone else hear an echo? Anybody? Okay, rồi. Here we go, y'all. So all you actually have to do is understand life insurance, and you will understand how you can make tax-free cash. Some people say an echo, some people don't. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So here we go, guys. Okay, here we go. First of all, what can it be used for? Life insurance, of course, death benefit. When the insured dies, their beneficiaries get money. That's tax-free. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me see why there's an echo, because there shouldn't be. I don't have anything up. I'm not doing anything different. Is it really bothersome? Oh, maybe that's why. Hold on a second. Does this sound better? Does this sound any better? How is this now, you guys? Is this better? I need some quick answers. Như vậy, better rồi hả? Okay. Sorry, you guys. See, I told you. I told you I moved stuff around, and I asked you if you could hear me and if everything was loud and clear. Apparently, it was too loud. Okay, very good. Better. I'm sorry about that. Okay, here we go. So there's a death benefit, okay? Những ai mà đã từng coi rồi đó, you should be able to right away get it. And if, oh my gosh, if you get it, come work with me. Come work with me. Sickness protection. Okay, mình bệnh, mình lấy tiền bệnh mình xài. Specifically, when you get chronically ill, like in the future, when you're old and you need long-term care, stuff that healthcare and Medicare doesn't pay for. Well, you can use your life insurance money to pay for that. Okay? And yes, tax-free cash. Yes, tax-free cash. Is it a scam? It's not a scam. It is a legal contract. But you have to structure it properly, and your agent should be doing annual reviews. Như vậy là cái người agent của mình đó nha, phải biết cái cách mà để I don't know how to say structure. Họ phải biết cách làm nè. And then mỗi năm họ phải coi lại cái hợp đồng của mình. A lot of people don't do that. Surprisingly, or maybe not so surprisingly, most agents don't do that. Because most agents are really just kind of looking for the next sale, right? Họ bán cho mình xong rồi họ đi kiếm khách khác. And you don't want an agent like that. You want an agent who is going to take care of you and make sure that the contract they got you to sign is still good for you. Okay? Nên cái annual review rất là quan trọng luôn. I talked to a lot of people, they said their agent never has done an annual review for them. That's bad. That's very bad. Okay. So here are some terms that you should understand. Okay? I know you've heard them. Maybe you think you know what it means. Maybe you don't. Then you have to understand these terms to understand what you got yourself into or what you're going to get yourself into. Okay? Premium. That's the payments that you make to keep your life insurance policy active. Okay? Đây là cái tiền mình trả nha. Hàng tháng đó, or hàng năm, or whatever, however you do it. That's the premium. Next is the cost of insurance. The cost of insurance pays for administration, mortality, and other responsibilities of the insurer or the carrier, the company. The amount is largely determined by the risk class and the age of the policyholder, or actually, it should say the insured. This is different than the premium. The cost of insurance and the premium are not the same thing. Okay? Premium is not the cost of insurance. The cost of insurance are the costs I just told you about. Premium is what you're paying in. This is very, very important. Why? Because for all of you who got a big, fat death benefit paying very little, think that you got a great deal, but you didn't. Nên nếu mà cái tiền mình trả rất là ít, nhưng cái tiền tử thật là cao, do not think that you got a great deal because you didn't. You don't know that yet. What you pay in and what they are taking out for the cost of insurance are two different things. This is why when you buy life insurance and they tell you, oh, you can take cash out when you need it, and then some people go and try to take cash out and there's really not much there, it's because the premium that you've been paying in is actually lower than the cost of insurance. So they take it from your cash value. Then you get in a situation where I call it being upside down, is that cái số mà mình đóng vào nó cao hơn cái số tiền mặt trong đó. Okay? Also known as low, okay? So that two very important things, premium and cost of insurance, two different things. Okay. The death benefit. This is what's paid out to the beneficiaries upon the insured's death. Okay? Death benefit. That's easy. And then there's the face amount. Guess what? That's the same thing. Some people don't know that. Face amount và death benefit is the same thing. Đó là tiền tử. Okay. The surrender value. This is the amount that the carrier would pay the policy owner if they quit the policy. Surrender means to give the policy back. Surrender it. Give it up. Give it back. You don't want it anymore. I don't know why. Unless you're getting into something better. Nhưng mà nếu mà mình hủy hợp đồng, okay? Surrender cash value là cái số tiền mà nó sẽ trả lại cho mình. Okay? That's surrender value. Then there's the issue date. Hold on. Issue date. This is the day that the insurance carrier agrees to provide you coverage and issues your policy. Okay? This is different from the effective date. Effective date is when you're actually covered. And depending on the carrier, it may be the same date and it may be different. Okay? Như vậy là cái issue date là cái ngày mà nó đồng ý, nó sẽ cho mình hợp đồng đó. Rồi mình ký, okay? Rồi nó issue cái policy cho mình. Còn effective date is different. Effective date là cái ngày mà thực sự mình có bảo hiểm đó. Khi đó mà cái gì xảy ra cho mình là mình covered đó. Okay? Contestability. This is the period in which the insurer can review claims and deny the death benefit to your beneficiaries if they find evidence of fraud. Normally in the first 1 or 2 years. Như vậy là trong cái 2 năm đầu đó, if you have a claim, either death or maybe a claim for sickness, accelerated death benefit. So the insurer can go back and review it and see if there was any fraud. Did you lie? Like, does your family have a history of cancer and did you lie to them? Did you used to smoke like a stack and did you say that you never smoked? Okay. And then lapse. Lapse is when there's no more coverage. Lapse là hết. Okay. Lapse. Okay. So this is very basic, but there are, these are the main types of life insurance. There's term, there's whole life, and there's universal. Term. you can choose a policy length. Okay, they've got 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. I believe there are only two carriers who offer 40 years. Nhưng mà if you don't die within that term, if you die one day later, there's no payout. Nha, mình phải mất trong cái thời gian này nè. Mình mà sống hơn một ngày thôi đó, nó cũng không có đền đâu đó. There is no cash value in a term. What does that mean? The money you pay is gone after you pay it, okay? It's gone after you pay it. So there's no building cash value. Sometimes there are return of premium type deals. By the way, honestly, I am not a big fan of return of premium. Return of premium maybe you buy a policy at like say 20 years and then they say that if you don't die in that time and you want to before that time you want all your money back, they'll give it. People think, "Oh, that's a great deal." It's not. I don't think it's a great deal. So there may be some situations where you would want to do that. I don't think it's a great deal because you've just given the insurance carrier free money. They can go and invest. They'll do whatever they do with it. In 20 years, free money for them to invest, but you don't get anything from it? I don't think that's a good deal. And then they say, "Oh, and you know what? You can get all your money back." You're, "Oh, God, great." Yeah, to them it's great because they don't have to pay out the 500 grand, right? So it's not it's not a great deal. It's not a great deal. Nên mình đừng có nghĩ, sau này mà mình không mất mình lấy lại cái tiền vốn của mình đâu. Wow, nếu mà quý vị nghĩ là cái đó là tốt ha. Quý vị chưa làm được bài toán. Okay? It is not great. Okay. Premiums and death benefit typically stay level. That means the same. Okay? And it is the most affordable life insurance. It is the cheapest life insurance you can buy. That's easy to see why. Do you know why? Because they don't pay out like permanent life insurance. Most people don't die within the term. So you buy term and then 10 years later, oh my God, I'm still alive. You buy another term, 20 years later, oh my God, I'm still alive. Okay? Nên cái tiền quý vị đóng vào đó, gone, nó mất rồi. Mà mình mà không mất trong cái thời gian đó, mình mất tất cả luôn. No more tiền tử. Dĩ nhiên là no more cash rồi. Okay? But you have to think about this because, and recently là Leyna nói chuyện với vài người mà đã làm như vậy nha. They buy it, then they renew it, then they renew it, and they keep on renewing it. And then guess what? Now they're 67, they want to renew it. Oh my gosh. It's expensive. So it starts out very affordable, very cheap because you're young and healthy. And then as you get older, your cost of insurance goes up. And then when you really need it, okay, 70s, 80s, it's going to be very difficult for you to get affordable insurance at that age. If you're healthy. Còn như nếu mà khi đó mà mình là độ bệnh ha, bắt đầu uống thuốc này, uống thuốc kia, well, it's going to be very expensive. So rethink that buying term. Like if you can afford permanent insurance, in most cases, it makes better sense too. Okay? Alrighty then. Whole life. Whole life is the most expensive. So we go from term, most affordable, to whole life, most expensive type of life insurance. Okay. It's called whole life. That's the type of product. Okay, people are very confused about this. They think whole life just means that you're covered for your whole life. Whole life is actually the type of life insurance. There are people who bought whole life who ended up losing their policies, who now are not covered their whole life. So don't confuse that with what it will do. Okay, again, structuring it, very important. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at whole life. So this is the most expensive type of life insurance. The premium, that's the amount you pay, and the death benefit are fixed. That means level, staying the same. The cash value grows at a guaranteed rate that is set by the carrier. Okay, so a guaranteed rate, normally like 3%. Okay, so whole life policies normally get 3%. When you understand that, maybe then you'll understand why sometimes, a lot of times, I talk to a lot of people who are in this situation. Mình mua whole life, khi mình mua người ta nói là sau này chị cần tiền mặt chị lấy ra chị xài. Ô mình nghe mình thích quá đi, right? Nhưng mà không ai đặt câu hỏi bao nhiêu. Ok, họ cứ là họ nghe lời, that's it. Nhưng sau này đó, cái tiền mặt trong đó nó ít hơn cái tiền mình đóng vào. Okay, does that make sense? That's no bueno. I'll be teaching Spanish every Wednesday. That's no bueno. That's no good. Okay? So understand what it is that you're getting into. Because if you are getting into whole life to make money like retirement income, you better take a close look at how you should be doing that, how that policy is structured. Okay? I see a lot of them that do not work out. Tại vì mình ăn 3% tiền lời thôi. So, I mean, think about that, right? When inflation is 7% and you're still just earning 3% and your cost of insurance keeps on going up, of course your cash value is going to go down. Okay? And then I've had clients who show me that they thought they were only going to pay for 10 years. 20 something years later, they're still paying because they have to. So you have to know what kind of policy you get into. Okay. Is it guaranteed? Are you guaranteed to only pay a certain amount of time? Yeah. A lot of people vào đó, they didn't make enough interest. So they're not making enough money for the policy to pay for itself in the future. So sometimes, a lot of times when they're older, people then are faced with having to pay more and continue having to pay. Nhưng mà còn sống còn đóng nha. Okay, rồi. Coverage typically lasts the entire life of the insured. Again, you have to look at it to make sure that's going to happen. Okay? Not all of them do. Not all of them do. Mình nghe whole life, mình nghĩ là mình mua cái này, that's it. Nó sẽ bao mình suốt đời luôn. Không phải như vậy. Then there's universal life. So universal is more expensive than term, but less expensive than whole life. The cash value can be more than whole life depending on the type of policy. Coverage typically lasts entire life. Now, typically, that means there could be instances where if you don't make enough money, then you'll either have to pay longer or it may lapse later. So it depends on the performance too. There are three kinds. There's guaranteed, indexed, and variable. I'm a big fan, as you know. I'm a big fan right now of the indexed products. Okay? So guaranteed won't make you as much. Khi nào mà nó guarantee cái gì lời nó cái tiền lời nó thấp. Okay? Index là lên với thị trường. So you go up with the market and you have a floor. Thị trường mà sụp á, mình không có đi lui được. Nhưng mà cái cash của mình, so you can't go backwards because of market volatility, but you could see your cash going down because they will continue to take out the cost of insurance. That's just the way it works. Okay? Anyone who thinks, oh, My cost of insurance is only $57 a month. It's great. It is not. That's the premium that you're paying. Your cost of insurance is not that. And as you get older, it will go up. Okay? With any carrier. That's just the way it works. Okay, so let's take a look. When we look at these three main types of life insurance, okay, we like to compare the cost, the death benefit, the premiums, and the cash value. So the cost, this is the cost of insurance, okay? Term is the lowest, whole life will be the highest, universal is higher than term, lower than whole life. The death benefit is fixed for term and whole life, but it's flexible for universal. That's another reason why I like universal life policies. That means mình nói mình sẽ đóng 1 tháng 1.000 đi, nhưng mà sau này mình gặp khó khăn mình trả không nổi thì sao? It's flexible. We can change it. Cái death benefit tiền tử also flexible. You can change that too. So it's great when you have a policy that you can change as your life changes. Okay, your needs change, your income changes. Okay, it's good to have a flexible policy. Okay, premiums. Remember, premiums is what you pay, not the same thing as the cost of insurance. So premiums for term and whole life are fixed. That means if we say you have to pay $300 a month, you have to pay $300 a month. With a universal policy, it's flexible. Okay, you may need to bring it down for a few months or for a few years, and then you can bring it back up. It's flexible. You can change it. And then talking about cash value, no cash value for term. There is cash value for whole life and universal. But as we said, whole life normally just earns a guaranteed 3%. Whereas with universal policies, it could be as low as that, but you can also index it, go up with the market, have a floor so you can't go backwards. And there are also variable policies, okay, which I'm not a big fan of. Like if you're going to do variable, you might as well do something in the stock market. Like I wouldn't want to tie my life insurance into a variable policy. That's just me. Okie dokie, everybody. Rồi. Here, I wanted to show you, this is from Forbes, okay? This is comparing the prices of whole life with universal life. And this is only for $250,000. But you can see what the average cost per month is and the difference between the two types of insurance. That's why very often I will see a lot of whole life policies where the death benefit is to me quite low. Okay? Quite low. Like Leyna có rất là nhiều khách hàng đã có hợp đồng rồi, toàn là whole life không à. Nhưng mà cái tiền tử rất là thấp luôn nha. Là thường là 100.000 hoặc là 150.000. Sometimes 200.000, 250.000. Okay, I seldom see it for very high because it's very expensive. But when you go into a universal life policy, you will be able to get a higher death benefit because the cost is lower. Okay, so the way to think about this is this: like with term, term is so cheap, someone can get a $500,000 policy and trả mấy chục một tháng. Okay, and that same $500,000 worth of coverage in a universal policy may cost you 100 and something. And that same one with whole life would be much more expensive. Okay, so you have to know what you're looking at. Rồi. So far, so good. Are we doing okay? Yes, are we doing okay? Phil says life insurance drives him crazy. He's going to have to rewatch this. Yes, do, because it's so important to understand, right? Really important to understand. 'Cause, I mean, this is long term, and it's something that will affect your future and the futures of your children and maybe grandchildren too. So definitely you wanna understand what you're getting into. Right. How can I use the money? How can I use the money? Okay. No age requirements. Okay. So, unlike a 401k or a Roth, there are no age requirements on when you can take out the money. There's no reason needed. People ask me all the time, "Do I have to be sick?" No. Does it have to be for a car or mortgage? No. If you need the money and there's money in there, you can take it out. And there is no tax on the money if done correctly. If done correctly. Okay. Uh, my friend from Miss Shirley Lou from Virginia just called me. Hold on, you guys. Sorry, I have to. Um, sorry, Jay. I'm on my live stream. Maybe she'll turn it on and say hi. Okay. Okie dokie, everybody. Frequently asked questions. I get these questions a lot. Okay, I ask these questions a lot, or I get asked these questions a lot. So let's go through some of them. Okay, is there a minimum premium? Like I get asked this question so often. Okay, the answer is well, no, not really. It depends on your age, your health, and then how much coverage. So there's no minimum. Like anyone who tells you, oh, you have to spend a minimum of anything, well, I wouldn't go to them. Okay, so people say, well, does it have to be a minimum? Is it like $100, $300? No, I like that's not the way you should do it. So let's talk about your finances. Let's talk about what your needs are. Let's talk about like cái khả năng, you know, like it has to make sense for your family. It can't be too much that you can't afford to pay for it, and it can't be too little because then the coverage is not enough. Okay? So it's a conversation. If you're talking to anyone who is telling you you should put at least don't listen to them. Okay, is there a maximum premium? No contribution limits is what I'm telling people because when people start talking, we start asking, là có giới hạn không đó? Is there a maximum of how much you can put in? Well, they're already thinking about cash accumulation. So when people ask this question, it's because I'm sitting down with them and I'm structuring a plan so that they can make tax-free income. So very often they'll ask me, is there a maximum? So there is no maximum. Okay? It still has to make sense. Like, you know, if you only make $50,000 a year and you want to put $5,000 a month, that's not going to make sense. You're not going to qualify. Okay, so we figure it out together. Okay. Can I have more than one policy? Why, yes, you can. I have more than one policy. Does anyone know why anyone would want more than one life insurance policy? I have one that is just for the death benefit, meaning I'm not going to touch it. Okay, I'm not going to take money out of it because I want the death benefit to stay what it is. Because when you take money out of a policy, you will affect its value. So that one is just for death benefit. That I know for sure will go to my kids when I'm gone. Okay? I have another one where it's just for, I'm going to use it for just my sickness protection. So if I get sick, I'm going to max out my accelerated death benefits on that policy. Okay? The reason why I don't do both in one is what if I get sick? If I get sick and I use all that money, then there's not going to be anything left for the kids. Okay? And then I have another policy that's just my cash policy, meaning I'm counting on the cash accumulation. If I want to need money in the future, I'm going to take it from this policy because I don't want to take it from my death benefit and I don't want to take it from my sickness protection, which, by the way, if I'm very lucky, I don't get sick, I can take cash from that one too. Or maybe I have enough money over here and I don't even touch that one, but then the kids are going to get a lot of money when I'm gone. Okay? So there. Yes, you can have more than one policy. Can I buy life insurance for someone else? Yes. People do it all the time. But there has to be insurable interest, meaning you can't buy one for your neighbor. What? Okay, so I help like now, like I help people buy life insurance for their parents. I help parents buy life insurance for their kids. You have employers who could buy life insurance on their employees. Okay, there are business type accounts. So there has to be insurable interest. Like if you want to buy it for someone, is there any kind of financial hardship? Like how are you affected if that person dies? Right? So your neighbor, like you're not going to be affected. So there would be no insurable interest. So the answer is no, you can't. Okay? All right. Is there a minimum age? Is there a minimum age for life insurance? No, depending on the product. So I have clients who, it's funny to call them my clients because they were 2 weeks old because mom was a client. And as soon as mom had baby, mom called me up and started an IUL for the kid, which, by the way, if you have children, first you have to have coverage yourself. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. If you have small children and you start one for them now, you are doing them such a big favor. And you are going to, and maybe long after you're gone, but they're going to have tax-free income. Like they're just going to have money without doing anything because mom and dad thought about it. Mom and dad planned ahead. So we have helped parents structure things for, a couple weeks old kid to, we just did one for an 8-year-old who in retirement, very early retirement, is going to be able to take out over 400 grand a year tax free just from this one policy. Okay? That's how powerful it can be. Again, you got to structure it correctly. Is there a maximum age? For new policies, it's usually 79 years old. So there are carriers that won't insure you anymore after that. And it's understandable. It's because people normally die after that. And so it's very tough. So 79 for most carriers. And like, why do people still do that? Well, because when you get a life insurance policy, even if you just pay one premium, okay, you're covered. Meaning, maybe quý vị mới có đóng 500 đồng hoặc là 1.000 đồng. Nhưng mà nếu ngày mai quý vị mất, okay, gia đình mình được cái tiền tử. Mà cái tiền tử could be 800,000, 1 million, 1.5 million. Okay? That's protection. So sometimes when people say, oh, no, my kids, they're okay. They have my 401k. No. You have no idea what you're talking about. Okay? Quý vị phải nhớ, cái gì mà xảy ra cho mình á, mình mất, cái tiền 401k của mình á, không phải là đứa con mình nó lấy ra được đâu. Nó chưa đến tuổi nha. Nó lấy ra nó phải đóng thuế nếu quý vị chưa đóng thuế. Okay? So when you're leaving a 401k or an IRA to your kids and you think that's just enough, you have not thought about taxes. They will owe your taxes. You are passing along a lifetime tax liability. Okay? When you say to me, không sao đâu, tôi mà chết, có cái nhà nè. People say it all the time. And so, you know what I have to actually say for them to understand why I think that's, I said, ủa? Như vậy, nó ăn cái nhà hay sao? Like there has to be enough money for your kids to live. Doesn't matter if you have a house. And then it's like, oh, you know what? So they have a house. The house is paid off for. How about property taxes? How about homeowners insurance? How about utilities? How about food? How about their education? Oh, you didn't think about those things. Okay. Leaving behind just your 401k or IRA, you need to think further. Okay, mình phải tính cái đường dài. Nghe, cái tiền 401k của mình mà giá trị nhiều đó, mà chưa đóng thuế, đang hoãn thuế nha. Sau này là khổ cho con cháu mình đó. Yeah. You gotta think about that. Okay. Can I roll my 401k into an IUL? After I show people what an IUL can do, a lot of them ask me, ồ như vậy bây giờ tôi đổi cái 401k qua được không? No, you can't. You cannot roll it over because it has to be a like-to-like product. Mình đang hoãn thuế mà IUL là sau này được miễn thuế là bây giờ cái tiền đóng vào phải là sau thuế. It has to be after tax dollars you put into an IUL to be able to take the money out later tax-free. No one can escape taxes. The moment you put your money into a 401k that's tax deferred, you owe taxes. You are going to owe taxes when you take it out. And if you're not of age yet, you cannot take it out without penalty. Okay? Oh, like people should be educated on 401ks and what they do because people don't understand. Okay? I'm not saying 401ks are bad. I had one. And then after I retired, right, I rolled it out. I did something with it. And now it's great shape. Like the markets are up 25% this year. So you really should have a little bit of everything. Nhưng mà your diversification has to take into consideration tax treatment. Thuế is going to be a big, big problem, quý vị ơi. Big luôn á. Okay. Can I use money from 401k for life insurance? Yes, if you follow the withdrawal rules. So, if you are 59 and a half, okay, and you can start taking that money out, all right? A lot of people are planning that. They hoãn thuế so many years, mấy chục năm bây giờ, oh my gosh, their 401k is huge, and so is the tax bill. So they're going to have to từ từ lấy ra để trả thuế bây giờ. They want to hurry up and kind of just slowly take it out, pay your taxes now, and then put it into an account that grows so you don't have to pay tax later. That's what I'm helping people do. Okay? And there's a way to do it. You can't just take it all out. I've had people say they want to do that too. No. Okay? Và Leyna nói thiệt với quý vị, so many people là khi mà nghe như vậy á, thì muốn là rút hết cả cái 401k. Rồi 401k mà đã roll over, rút hết cái IRA để bỏ vào cái này. You don't want to do that. Mình phải tính, okay, cái thuế, your tax bracket, cái income của mình lấy ra bao nhiêu mới là lợi. Okay? I just, and sometimes I tell my clients, I said, please don't say that to another agent. Don't go to another agent and say, here, I've got 200,000. I just want to give over you do something. Mình phải từ từ và mình phải làm cho đúng. Chứ nếu mà khi đó mà họ đi với một người khác mà cái người kia là muốn là chỉ là maybe sell them something, rất là hại luôn. We have to think about taxes. We have to think about what it's going to do to your income. Okay? Every dollar you take out, you have to tính, what is it going to do to my taxes? Okay? Can I deduct my premium on my tax return? Only on certain types of policies. If you own a business, this is a great way to offer like your favorite employees a benefit. Okay? You can do it this way and actually be choosy about who you give it to. All legal. where you as the business owner can take a tax deduction, okay? But the person receiving it has to take a 1099. So sometimes I have clients who are business owners and that's what they want to do. And so I actually have to tell them, well, wait a second, let's figure this out. Does it make sense? Okay? Your business is going to get the deduction, but you have to take the income. You have to get 1099. That's the only way we can take it out tax-free later. So someone has to pay the taxes at some point. Okay, does that make sense? People are now freaking out once they're getting older to retirement and they say có cách nào không? Có cách nào để tôi không có cần phải đóng cái thuế đó không? Dạ thưa không. You cannot escape taxes. You know what else is crazy? Some people, even as I'm talking to them, they get only half of it. And this is what they do. They vẫn là max out cái 401k. Rồi they đang tính là Roth conversion. And they don't realize that the two is completely not, the strategy doesn't make sense. Why are you doing Roth conversions and continuing to max out your tax deferred plan? And sometimes they just don't get it. Nên quý vị phải nhớ, mình bỏ tiền vào IRA hoặc là Roth cũng vậy luôn, hoặc là 401k nha. You cannot touch it until 59 and a half. Mình mà rờ đến nó early là bị phạt 10%. Và mình mà chưa đóng thuế, mình phải đóng thuế. No way to escape it. Nên nếu mà quý vị đang kiếm cách để từ từ convert into a Roth, thì tại sao mình tiếp tục bỏ tiền vào cái 401k làm gì? It doesn't make sense. But people still do it because no one explained to them. Okay? Like if you're trying to empty the bucket, why are you putting more into the bucket? Like it doesn't make sense. Cannot do that. Okay. So again, yes, there are certain policies where someone can deduct the premiums, but someone else always has to take it as income. If they want it to be tax-free, the premium has to be after-tax dollars somewhere down the road on, okay? Can I change my current life insurance policy? Yes, depending on the policy. Depending on the policy. If you have a term policy, you could upgrade it. You can convert it into a permanent policy. By the way, this reminds me of a story. This young lady from the East Coast, okay, I was just talking to her 2 weeks ago. It is so sad. And this is, cái này nó xảy ra hoài quý vị ơi. So, cái người bán bảo hiểm already talked to her. They made an appointment. They made an appointment for the husband and wife to talk about converting or changing the policy because they have term. The very same day, chiều đó luôn đó, ông chồng bị heart attack vào bệnh viện. Okay, and he spent, and I don't know if he's still in there. He was when I talked to her last week. And then, quý vị biết sao không? Cô này thì cô không biết đọc cái policy. Thì cô gọi cho cái người agent nào đó đó. Và cô nói là họ nói với cô là cái policy này là nó sắp expire. He bought a 10-year term policy 5 years ago. He just had a heart attack. So she's asking for help, and she was told, or at least how she understood it, was that the policy was going to expire at the end of the month. And I said, no, something is not right. She sent me everything. Guess what? The term policy is convertible into a permanent policy until the end of the month. Okay? Actually, it's the middle of next month. Như vậy là họ có quyền đổi sang qua một cái permanent. Mà mặc dù ông xã bị heart attack, it doesn't matter. Guaranteed insurability phải convert cho ổng á. Okay? Nhưng mà người kia không, một là she không hiểu hoặc là người kia không có muốn giúp họ làm như vậy. Nên I had to help her, like, this is like very late at night, and show her what she needed to do, and she needed to do it immediately. Immediately. Làm giấy tờ không xong, this could be a big difference for their whole family. Nên quý vị thấy không? Nó rất là nhiều cái mình mà không hiểu, mình mà không có làm cho nó hợp pháp, okay? If you don't meet deadlines, if you don't do it correctly, you can lose. Your family can suffer from it. So it's very, very important. But yes, if you have a policy now, maybe it's a whole life policy. Maybe it's an IUL. Maybe it's an IUL you thought was structured properly. I'm happy to take a look at it. I've seen many, many things, including like stuff that doesn't make sense. Okay? Nhưng mà at the end of the day, mình là người ký giấy tờ. You signed it. It is a legal contract. So we need to look at it. And nếu mà quý vị mua mấy năm rồi mà chưa có năm nào là cái người agent mà họ làm cái review cho mình ha, that's not very responsible. Nên quý vị cứ là liên lạc với Leyna and then send me the statement and I will show you what to look at. Okay? What age can I take out the money? No age rules. No age. You don't have to be 59 and a half. Okay? You don't even have to wait till 15 years later. You don't have to wait until 10 years later. If there's cash in there, you can take it out. Whether you should is a different story. Okay? Nên Leyna nhắc khách hàng hoài, mình có quyền lấy. Okay? Mình lấy được chứ không phải không. Nhưng nên hay không là chuyện khác. So that's why I want people to talk to me. If you want something, if you need something, talk to me because I want to make sure whatever you do, that we protect the policy. Okay? Okay. Do I have to keep paying for life? Some people do. Yeah? It depends on your policy and its performance. So that's why khi mình đang đi làm, đang có khả năng nè, if you can max fund it, like you're still working right now. It doesn't make sense for you to say, oh, I don't know what the future is going to be like. I don't know if I'll still have this job in 5 years. But you have it now. Let's start saving your money now. Like, mình biết lo về tương lai thì tại sao mà mình không có do something right now? Chứ mình cứ là lo tương lai, maybe mình không có đủ tiền đóng, nên mình không, that doesn't make any sense. Okay? All right. Oh, what happens if the company goes bankrupt? Well, bigger, stronger companies often buy out companies that go under. And there's also the State Guarantee Association. So, you know how banks have FDIC? Well, the insurance industry has its own, and it's the State Guarantee Association. So there is protection up to a limit for policies, but this is why it's very important to go with a carrier that is financially strong. Okay? That means it's rated. Financially strong. Còn như nếu mà cái hãng bảo hiểm mình mà vài năm là nó đổi tên, nó đổi qua hãng này hãng kia, that's not a good sign. Okay? Nên nếu mà quý vị có hợp đồng rồi, email it to me. Okay? Leyna sẽ chỉ cho quý vị thấy, con số này nè, mình cộng số này với số này, mình trừ số này là mình biết à. It's very easy luôn. Okay? So I can show you. You can email me right there. LeynaWin@vanmay.com. LeynaWin@vanmay.com. Okay. Okay. Someone's asking, can I buy short term or long term? Yeah, either. That's up to you. That's up to you. Okay. Nhưng mà, for people who keep on renewing the term until they're older, and it's, to me, not a good way to go. Not a good way to go. Là tại vì khi mà mình trẻ, okay, most people don't die. But when you need it, okay, late 70s, 80s, 90s, that's when you really, really need it. And if you wait till you're 70 to buy term, very expensive. Any insurance. Okay. Someone said, no job. What now? Find a job? Go get a job? Do you have savings? Are you married? Okay. There are plenty of spouses who stay home, take care of the home while the other one works. You can still get a policy. Okay. So it's all about knowing what your family needs, knowing what your family has, and getting someone who knows what they're doing so that they can find it. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you're retired, if when you're retired, you have retirement income. That's considered income. By the way, for those people who are retired, as you know, the life insurance you had with work is probably gone now, worthless. Okay. And so now you're retired. You really need to think about life insurance. You should have gotten it before. But like, he was 78. My oldest client was 78, now 79. So we can still help people. There is still an advantage to it. There are different ways you can use life insurance depending on how old you are, how much money you have, okay, your health. Let's do it. What? You just asked my earlier question. You mean answered? Okay. So, if you do some research, you'll see that like people don't lose their money because a life insurance company went bankrupt. Bigger companies will come in and buy them out. Okay. That happens. So I would go with a carrier who's been in the business a long time, who is financially strong. Okay. Okie dokie. Someone's talking about converting term to explain more about converting term to permanent. So I just recently converted one of my clients from a term to permanent insurance. So it's just work that the agent has to do. It has to be with the same company, and hopefully you have it with a good company, because sometimes when you have a term and you have to convert it with the same company, the product they let you convert to is not great. Not great. So depending, it might not be a good idea to convert it. It might be just a better idea to actually find a good policy. Okay. But Hannah, get in contact with me, because if it just depends so much on your age and your income and what you need, right? If all you want to do is just convert a term into a permanent, you might not be doing the best thing. If you have no choice, đó là chuyện khác, huh? If you have no choice, if you have a choice, you should look around, because maybe it just makes more sense to get the best permanent insurance policy you can now. And then eventually, if you want to, just replace the term. Just quit it. Okay? Okay, everybody. Woo! Yes. Yep. If Social Security counts as income. Yeah. A lot of people actually take retirement income from tax deferred places and put it into an IUL to grow it tax free. Cái đó làm nhiều lắm đó nha. Nhiều lắm đó. And then, of course, as you know, your life insurance policy, it not just a death benefit. And the one thing that you should be concerned about right now is long-term care needs that you're going to have. No one wants to use pocket money for that. And if people are now living on fixed income, Social Security, and maybe a little bit of 401k savings, not enough. Medical bills will make you go bankrupt in a very, very quick amount of time. It happens very fast. Nên mình phải lo trước nha. Okay, everyone. Remember, there's my email. If you need anything, just email me. We'll take a look. We'll see what we can do. Well, wishing you all a Merry, Merry Christmas. And Thursday, we will go live again. We'll do something fun. Okay, we'll do some kind of a fun English, maybe more idioms or something. People love that. I hope you've enjoyed your time with your family, got some good presents, ate some good food. Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Come on, you know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe if you haven't. Nhớ nha, I'm coming to Virginia. June 14th, I'm coming to Virginia. So look for that and look forward to meeting you. Okay. Good night, everybody. Bye.